Hello, everyone. We're here to talk about the Iron Studios Luke and Leia 1/10 scale statue and Iron
From
Studios.
Iron Studios. That's right.
Yes. Um, Exciting because we're aware of a certain fan art one that came out that was in a 1/4 scale. I had a few friends who were interested in that, but it was a space killer. So I like that there's one now that's an option for licensed people,
Yeah.
but also the smaller scale. Um, the only comment I saw that I thought was interesting, I don't know if it was in our group or someone else's group when I posted this, but someone took issue with um, Luke's likeness. Not that it
Mm.
didn't look like Luke, but they said it looked more like Mark Hamill from Empire Strikes Back after the car accident. I don't know if you can tell at this scale, honestly, if it's that nuanced. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the other thing, too, that I saw, which I totally agree with people, is yep, they thought the lightsaber was a bit ridiculous because it is accurate to the poster it's inspired by, but I like that they give you a more standard option for the
Hmm.
saber that translates maybe a little bit better into that like 3D environment. I
Right.
think the base is really cool. Of course, they stuck with the kind of like rocks, but also the old school Star Wars logo on the front. Um, yeah, I think this is a really cool option for
Yeah. So
people.
this is the one with the crazy star
Yeah.
lightsaber
Christmas
thing.
tree topper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
And this is the one with the normal one. Yeah. No, it looks good. I mean, I agree, CC, that like the 1/10 gives you a better option to put this
Display.
display this in different places. I mean, what's the size? This thing is okay, so 16.1 inches tall. That's not bad.
That's still
Um,
decent. Yeah.
yeah, but if it was 1/4,
Huge. Hmm.
yeah, it'd be really large. So it does give you more options. And I think something like this, what I wouldn't call this necessarily a diorama, but I do think it's different than just a one single statue,
Yeah.
which I think feels like you can put this next to things easier than
Mhm.
having something out of scale with your other stuff. I do think this works a little bit better that way. Um, so it's cool. It's a good idea. It's a great
Yeah.
idea, and I think it's done fairly well. I mean, it looks, um, it looks to me like it's actually pretty. It's pretty good. I don't know. I don't. It's hard to tell because I mean, if you look at this, is based off of obviously this poster,
Yes. Hmm.
this movie poster,
Yeah.
and I mean, it does look pretty freaking good. I mean, you obviously can, what it is,
Mhm.
so
And actually, this might be one of the best opportunities for Iron Studios because I feel like their likenesses are very hit or miss when you go to that kind of that small scale of the
hmm
1/10. And I
hmm
feel like with this, there's a ton of like wiggle room and grace and forgiveness there because the poster itself is not like
right.
bang on Carrie Fisher, bang on Mark
No,
Hamill,
no, it's
very
not.
stylistic.
It's not.
Um, I think Parm even mentioned something about Leia's hair seemed a bit off, and I think it's because in the poster, I think this is the Tom Young style A. Her her buns are not as defined,
Hmm.
whereas obviously in the statue they are because we
Right.
know that that's how he ended up being in the actual production. Um, yeah, that was I think the only critique I really had. It would have been kind of cool, I thought, but maybe not cost effective at this scale. If so, they when they did a video on this on their Instagram page, showing all the details, they did do like a, in remembrance of Greg Hildebrandt, and my
Mm.
eyes started twitching a little bit just because his poster was a little bit different. Like Leia's arm was out just a little bit differently, and it would have been kind of cool if they did like a switch out arm so it looked more like the Hildebrandt poster. But this obviously it's true to the style A.
Right.
Uh, that was the only thing I could think of. And then the price had people talking.
How much is it?
I think it's like what 450. Which, if you're
Yeah.
used to Iron Studios 1/10,
Let
like
me see. Is it 450? Yeah, 455. 455.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty high compared to like even I liked the Deadpool Wolverine they did. That's 2 characters.
Sure.
That was like 250. They also recently came out with or for PO at least, a Cars, like I'd say diorama. It had the cars from the Pixar movie. I think it was
Yeah.
Pixar. And that was almost 1,000. But
Right.
mind you, that shoe's like 18 inches wide,
Yeah.
18 inches tall. It's a lot bigger than this one is.
Right.
But I think it's maybe something to do with the Star Wars license being more. But that is just a lot for that scale. But if you're thinking about the quarter, of course it's going to be a lot less than the quarter and a little easier to display.
Yeah. Jason, what are your thoughts on this thing? How do you feel?
I just keep picturing Luke sitting off the lunk bell. You know, at the gym when you, I need you. Sounds the alarm. He's just like, I pick things up and put them down.
I pick them up and put them. Yeah, I get you. It's.
I think it's great.
It matches the poster, right? Like it is what it is.
I like it. I think it would be fun if, maybe a little. I don't know about 1/4. It would be huge, but if they built on it, maybe a little bigger, had 3PO and R2 in the back. It'd be nice to have like a little. Vader.
Yeah, the only problem is 3PO and R2. I mean, look at 3PO, dude. Holy shit.
They look like they're from an episode of Rick and Morty.
It's unbelievable, dude. I mean,
it looks like 3PO's trying to like sneak a peek. Like,
dude, honestly, 3PO looks like I know 3PO doesn't have
human
hair.
eyes.
I know he doesn't have hair, but it looks like a human head on a robot that's bald, and it's just weird.
And the acid kicked in.
Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, he's like, whoa. Look at him.
R2's all right, I guess.
Luke has like Vader shins on him. Look at shin guards.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is they yeah, they kind of like, it's pretty faithful to what is, what's in the poster here.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I think it's great that they did that. I like the texturing, some of the textures they have in things. Like Iron Studios is great. They do such good work, and I think people, I could be wrong, but I feel like people tend to think that they're not as high end as like obviously as a Prime 1 or even an XM or whatever, some of these bigger, companies out there. But like I feel like Iron Studios, even on their 1/10 stuff, does a killer job. Like I don't have any other 1/10 stuff, but I've seen a lot of it. It looks really good. And we've even seen them at some of the conventions, like Comic-Con and stuff, and it looks really good.
Well, and even their quarter scale stuff is some of the best.
Yeah, it's killer.
I think they had one of the best quarter scale Mandos.
Yeah,
the best quarter scale Vader we've ever had.
Yeah, Vader's amazing.
I don't think they've really had a lot of misses with their 1/4.
They've been very good, and so I don't know. It's just, I think they did a great job with this. I don't know if I'll be picking this up, but I did like it when I first saw it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. It does look really good.
I think it's it's just one of those pieces that everybody is familiar with, right?
Yeah,
subconsciously.
Yeah, everyone's seen it.
Yeah, I think for 1/10 the price is a little high, I think, for size, but like you said, you're getting a lot of detail, you're getting a lot of nuance. They seem to have covered all grounds, and I don't know, it's an iconic image.
It is.
So
nice.
It's one of those pieces that's gonna stand out most collections. It's one of those things that just won't get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice.
Now, is that just Photoshop, or is the saber light up?
No, I think that's. I don't.
Okay.
No, I think it's Photoshop. Yeah.
Those are always so misleading, because I can't tell if it's like a cathode or it's
Yeah.
like just.
Yeah.
Now, they haven't announced an edition size for this, have they?
I don't think so yet. I think it's still in pre-order. So I don't think there's an edition size as far as I know. Let me check. I don't think so. Not that I can tell. And I don't think there's any sort of like, any sort of other like other than the lightsaber, I don't think there's anything else that you're going to get with this, like switch outs or anything like that. It's pretty simple. Which I guess makes sense for a 1/10, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's a killer piece. It's really cool. I'm excited for people to get this in hand and see what this feels like, looks like. where they can put this thing and display it. It's nice that it's a size that's, like we said, the size that's that's displayable in your collection. Yeah, it's killer. It's a really killer piece. Congrats to Iron Studios. I think they're coming out with some really interesting stuff, and
Yeah, I think they're making some good choices. I
yeah,
like some of the ideas that they're executing.
yeah, it's really cool. So, and I just, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, we need to do a product spotlight on this because it's actually a really, really interesting, cool piece, and I hope we get more of stuff like this.
People seemed really excited about it in various different groups, like not
Yeah.
even just Star Wars groups, which I thought was really cool. So the only thing I found is it looks like it's expected to start shipping third quarter of 2025. So I hope that means that we have time to think about it. By we, I mean me. Like,
Yeah, totally.
it's
Right.
cool to own. I know, like, I sent it to Rob as soon as I saw it because he had contemplated the 1/4 to display in front of the poster itself.
Right.
Yeah, I think this is like that 1/10. I think we talk about it. It would look great on a bookshelf. It would look great in an office.
Yeah, it really would.
Having like, without it being in like a collection room, like a statue collection room, it would look good on its own as well.
It really would. And the nice thing you, like you said, CC, the nice thing that it does benefit from not having to make the likeness exactly like anybody really. It looks very, for the most part, pretty damn true to the poster, which is obviously what they're going for, and it looks great. It just works. So great job. I think I think they killed it, and I think it's going to be a good. I feel like it's going to be a good seller, but I guess we'll see. So anyway, guys, I think that's it for that one. Yeah, see you, I guess, on the next one. Thanks.
Yep.